Healthy body, healthy mind.
Ad Astra Abyssos. Thank you for completing today.
I was wrong about Genshin. Hello and welcome back to my channel. And today, actually I want to talk about that I was wrong about Genshin, especially after I played
Next on the agenda.
this year's Windblume Festival event. Currently, the event is nearly coming to an end, so if you haven't played the event, I suggest you to play it uh, as soon as possible because I think it is one of the best events yet in Genshin Impact. Spoiler alert for those who haven't played the event. And if you already played it, actually you know the main characters in this event are actually Collei and Sucrose. And if you're wondering why it is a very special event, especially for me, it is because Sucrose and Collei are actually two socially awkward characters when they first met. However, during the process of the event, they managed to socialize with other people and also get to know each other very well and have a very deep connection between them. Let's take a close look of the cutscenes between Collei and Sucrose. As someone who is having social anxiety and having difficulties to interact with one another, I can relate to this scene where Collei and Sucrose met for the first time and they have difficulty to start a conversation, but in the end they try to make the conversation go smoothly even though we know this is kind of socially awkward for normal people. Also have the tendency to overthink about something that I want to say to other people most of the time actually makes it more difficult for me to socialize and open up to other people. And of course, most people will think that I'm a weird guy. However, they do not know that I have social anxiety and it sucks to this day to deal with it in a daily life. And this also leads to people pleasing. Sometimes I say things that I don't mean to say just for the sake of others' feelings so that I do not disappoint them. However, most of the time, the things that I said to them is actually not something that I would want to say to them because, again, I do not know how to deal with social interaction. So I can relate to Collei when she wished for a better personality because that's also the thing that I would wish for too. Wishing for a better personality, which means to be more outgoing and more sociable so that I can be accepted by everyone, even though it could also mean that I do not embrace my uniqueness because everyone is created differently from other people and everyone has their own uniqueness and weaknesses. So we cannot say that I want to be that person or I want to be this person. The thing that we should say to ourselves is that I just want to be myself, I'm comfortable with myself, and I'm feeling confident all the time that I'm being myself, even though I'm around other people. And sometimes I feel jealous of people who are more outgoing and not socially awkward in social situations because they make it look very, very easy while I'm finding it really, really hard to socialize with other people. How to just make a small conversation, for example, just ask how are they feeling, how's their day, and etc. And I still find it to this day very, very hard to communicate and open up with everyone surround me. And this scene right here is my favorite scene, which actually you can get from the second part of the Windblume Festival event, since this limited time event is separated into three parts. So this is the scene where Sucrose was asking Collei that is there something wrong with her or maybe let's say bothering her, which in this case I can very very relate to Collei. And if you guys have played the Sumeru Archon quest, you know that Collei was suffering from Elazar, which actually now she's already cured from, but because of that sickness she wasn't able to adventure very far away from the Ophidia forest and master Tinary always takes care of her. So having someone that can understand about other people's feeling, for example, in this case, like Sucrose, asking her questions, trying to make her open up about her feelings, I think it is very, very helpful because from my perspective, it feels like that there is someone who is willing to listen to my concern, to my problem, and also I feel like I'm being treated as a human being. And this scene speaks very loud about what I'm feeling about myself when I try to socialize with other people. Because again, having social anxiety is very, very suck. Sometimes we need to have a deep conversation with people that we trust so that we can understand more about ourselves and deepen our connection with that person. Although I'm also aware that it is very difficult to have the opportunity to have deep conversation because we might feel bad about ourselves that we are just dumping our feelings and emotions to that person. But rest assured, I believe there is at least someone out there who is willing to listen to our concern, who is willing to be our good friends. And I believe everyone knows this feeling when someone is willing to open up with them, is willing to be vulnerable in front of them, or sharing their deepest secret. It means that we have gained their trust, and trust, I believe, is a very priceless thing. It is something that you must earn from that person. Trying to be kind person, trying to do good things to other people is a way toward being a good human being. Even though in this world there are still bad things that happen around us, if we try to make a difference, if we try to do good things, I believe that we can make this world a better place. And just because it's only a video game, however, I feel like this cutscene means a lot, especially for me, because again, they really discuss about having social anxiety, worrying what other people might think about ourselves, and so on and so forth. And as the saying goes, great minds think alike. I agree with that statement in this case because sometimes we need people who can understand our situation, which means that most likely that the other person has already gone through similar experience as us, so that when we talk with them or having conversation with them, we actually feel listened by them. And it's a very, very great feeling when we manage to find someone that can understand us, not being lectured or anything. They just sit there and listen to our concern without judging us. And I believe that when we find someone that can understand us, we don't have to force a conversation because there is a time where we are able to just sit there and enjoy the scenery. Again, without having to talk or anything, and just taking in the whole scenery in front of us. At first, I did not expect that Sucrose and Kole will get along very well, but I'm glad they do now, and I just hope that we are going to see more interaction between them in the future because I think they're very, very good friends and they can understand one and another, even though they are very different in terms of what they are doing in their respective field. But in terms of personality, I believe they are more or less a similar person, and it is why I believe that they can understand each other very, very well. And I'm glad that finally Kale was able to find her resolve. It means that she is no longer feeling overwhelmed by interacting with other people, and finding sucrose, for example, as someone that is more or less similar like her, means that now she just add a new best friend, in my opinion. And I'm glad that this event ends with a high note. I really do. And as far as I concerned, I think this is my favorite event of all time so far in Genshin Impact. And if you're wondering what's with the title of the video, well, if you have watched my previous video about having Genshin Burnout, and if you haven't, please go watch it. I'll leave the link in the description. I'm really glad that Hoyoverse is still able to give us a very good storyline, even though it's a limited time event. And for me, it means a lot because it discusses about a real life problem that people are still finding very awkward to talk about. And so, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!